So friends, let's see today's lovely sweet corn soup with no corn flour or anything added. Now here I've taken 2 cobs of corn, or you can use 1.5 cup of corn. So here I'm just taking off the corn from the cob. It's very easy and it comes off very easily. Now once that is done, I'm going to add about 3 cups of water to a pan, and I'm going to boil the corn. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to taste, and we're going to boil this corn for exactly 5 minutes because we want the corn to be nice and cooked. And then we're going to drain all the excess water. Now don't get rid of the water. We're going to use this as a stock for our soup. Now I have ground about 3/4 of the quantity of the corn into a very fine paste by adding a little of the water, and I've retained 1/4 to add to the soup. So this is the water. Now I've taken another pan and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can add olive oil, you can add regular oil, or you can even add butter. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of very finely chopped garlic. So I've used about 4 cloves of garlic and chopped it really fine. Now fry the garlic in the oil. Next I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of finely chopped onions. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of finely chopped capsicum. Now if you have some cabbage at hand, you can add about 2 tablespoons of finely chopped cabbage. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of finely chopped carrots. If you have spring onion, you can add about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of finely chopped spring onion at this point too. So we're going to fry all of this really well together. And now I'm going to add the pureed corn. So all I did was take the drained corn which we had boiled and let it cool to room temperature, and then ground it to this thick puree by adding a little of the stock that we were boiling the corn in, and get a nice thick paste like this. Now fry this along with all the veggies that we added. And now I'm going to add the stock that we boiled the corn in. And now just stir everything really well together. So the corn itself is so thick that we don't need to add any corn slurry or anything. Now I'm just going to add some salt to taste. So this is a completely natural corn soup without any kind of flour or anything added to it. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of pepper. So you can adjust the salt and pepper as per your taste. And now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of green chili sauce. This adds a little bit of a nice spicy flavor to this sauce. Now if you don't have green chili sauce at hand, you can just chop up some fine green chilies and add it at the time when you add the garlic and the onions. But this green chili sauce is really good. And I'm just going to add the remaining boiled corn. And now we're going to simmer this for about 5 minutes till everything really comes together. Now give this a taste and adjust it as per your taste. And that's it guys, your lovely sweet corn soup is all ready, and it's really delicious.
Thank you for watching all my recipes, and I love all the comments that I've been receiving from all of you. Thank you so much. And let's get ahead with today's recipe. It's simple and it's delicious and very healthy too. So let's get started. So friends, let's start by the ingredients that we're going to use for this healthy dal soup. Now I'm using about half a cup of tur dal, which I've washed and soaked for 10 minutes. This is 1 cup of dudhi or bottle gourd or lauki, 1 cup of cauliflower florets along with the cauliflower leaves. This is 1 carrot which I've diced in circles, half of a medium-sized onion, 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, a few curry leaves, some turmeric powder, some pepper powder. Now in a pressure pan, I'm heating about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. To that I'm adding the coarsely ground ginger garlic paste. I've used about half an inch of ginger and about 3 to 4 small cloves of garlic. So we're going to just saute this well.
Next goes in our diced onion. You can use the red onion or the white onion, whichever is easily available to you. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to be adding a few curry leaves because it gives a very nice flavor. Now, I have used these vegetables which I had handy at home. You can use any vegetable of your choice. So here I'm adding the carrots. You can add French beans, you can add broccoli, you can add green peas, potato, whatever you like in your soup. Now I'm going to be adding the cauliflower florets. I've soaked the cauliflower for 10 minutes in salt water, washed it thoroughly, and then removed the florets. So cut up the florets into tiny cubes. Now this soup will be just enough for 4 people. If you want to make it just for 2 people, then just make half the quantity. Or you can make it and just store it in your refrigerator and have it whenever you like. Now I'm adding the dudi or the lauki. This is a nice way of getting your family to eat all vegetables. I mean, which, they normally don't like to eat in a vegetable form. So give it to them in the soup form. Now I'm adding about 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. I'm also adding some red chili powder to make it a little bit spicy, and a little bit of cumin powder and coriander powder. Now this is optional, but it does make the soup very, very tasty. So just 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of coriander powder, and the pepper powder too. Now I'm going to be adding this soaked tur dal. It's important to soak the tur dal because then it cooks better. And now I'm just going to be adding double the quantity of water. So I've used half a cup. So I'm going to be using 1 cup of water. And now we're just going to mix up everything well. Season it with salt. Here I'm using pink Himalayan salt. So according to taste, I'm using about 1 teaspoon of salt roughly. Mix everything well. And now we're going to pressure cook this for 1 whistle on high and then just simmer it for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then once your cooker has completely cooled down and the ingredients inside have completely cooled down, it will look like this. And now all we're going to do is use a hand mixer or a blender and make it into a very, very smooth consistency. And then it will look like this. Now we're going to add some more water because we don't want a very thick soup. So I'm adding about 2 cups of water, and after tasting it, you can add salt according to how much ever you require. Give it a mix. This soup is a little on the thicker side because of the dal. And now I'm adding the pepper powder. I'm using about half a teaspoon. You can add it as per your taste, or if you don't like the taste of pepper, you can completely just drop the pepper part, but it does add a lovely flavor. Now we're going to simmer this for about 2 to 3 minutes till everything comes together well. And like I said, if you don't want a very thick soup, you can add a little more water. Now I'm also adding a little bit of red chili flakes. This is optional completely, but we do like our food a little spicy at my place. So I have added the red chili flakes. You can also add some Italian herbs, some oregano. It's all up to you, just to make the soup delicious and tasty. And believe me, friends, this is so filling that you don't really need to have a meal. You can just have this soup. Now I make the croutons in a very healthy way. I don't deep fry my croutons. What I do is I take about 4 slices of brown bread and I cut them into small cubes. I get about 12 cubes from each a slice of bread, and then I just take about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a pan and I just toss these cubes till they become nice and golden brown. So this is such a healthy way. You don't have to deep fry it at all. And after simmering it and letting it come to room temperature, your soup is all ready. Just garnish it with some coriander and just add some croutons and your delicious soup is all ready. This is a complete meal, friends, and you can have how many bowls you want till you're nice and full and you don't need to have an actual meal. So I hope you like today's
Hi friends, This is Akshata here with yet another delicious, quick and healthy recipe. Today I'll be showing you how to make some vegetable soup. So let's get on to the ingredients. Here I've taken about 4 carrots and diced them. I've taken about half a cup of French beans and diced them. 1 large onion diced, and I've grated an inch of ginger and about 3 large cloves of garlic. I've grated them because this gives a very nice and different flavor to the soup. Then I have also taken 1 small potato, peeled it and diced it, and I put it in some water because otherwise if you leave it just like that, it turns a little on the brownish side. Then I've taken 2 of these soup cubes. You can use any flavor, veg or chicken. Then I have taken 1 bowl or 1 cup of macaroni, salt to taste, and finely ground pepper, which I'll be using about 2 teaspoons, and some extra virgin olive oil. Now here I'm using a large pot to make the soup in. So without much further ado, let's start making this delicious vegetable soup. I'm also going to be using about 2 large cups of water, that is water at room temperature. Now here I'm heating up this large pot in which we are going to make the soup. Now the pot is heated up a little, so we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. To this olive oil, we're first going to add our ginger and garlic grated. Give this a good stir. Till the rawness of the ginger and garlic goes away. Next, we are going to add our onion. And saute that too. Next goes in, when our onions turn a little translucent, next will go in our French beans. Give them a light stir, and our carrots too. Now you can add veggies of your choice. You can add broccoli, you can add some cauliflower, a little bit of cabbage, green peas, whatever you like. So let this cook a little. Then we're going to drain the water out of this potatoes which I have peeled and diced. So we're going to now add this potato. You can also make this soup in a pressure pan. Actually, it's faster in a pressure pan. Now we're going to add some seasoning. So I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of finely ground pepper powder. Some salt to taste. So I'll be adding just about 1 teaspoon because the soup cubes also have salt in them. And I'm going to put in these 2 soup cubes. These are easily available in the market. And just give all of this a nice mix. Now we're going to pour water according to how thick or how thin you want your soup. So I'm pouring about 2.5 cups of water, and even later on if you feel, you can always add some more water. So now we're going to cover this pot up. First we'll give it one more stir, and we will cook this for at least half an hour on a little medium to high flame till all the veggies get cooked. Now, one more thing I forgot to add is the macaroni. You can also add pasta instead of macaroni. And we're going to cook this till all the veggies are slightly cooked, not completely cooked, and the macaroni also swells up. So approximately half an hour. And now, once the mixture is cooked, it has taken me about 30 minutes. I'm going to now put it into a blender pot and blend it. And I've also kept a little bit of it aside, about half a cup aside. So I will just blend this into a fine puree. And now once we have blended this into a fine puree, we put our gas stove on and pour this mixture back into our soup pot. And we are going to add about 1 more cup of water. You can add the water according to the thickness that you would like, whether you want a very thick soup or you want a very thin watery soup. Accordingly you can add the water. So we let this now come to a boil. Now at this point you can also taste for seasoning as to whether you require more salt or whether you require more pepper powder. And what we're going to do now is, we had kept about half a cup of the vegetables and the macaroni which is in full. We'll add that too. So it will give some nice body to the soup. Now if you're making this in a pressure pan, then you will boil it for 1 whistle on high fire in the pressure pan, and then you will simmer it for about 10 minutes. Put off your gas stove and let it cool, and once your mixture is cool enough, then you blend it with a hand mixer or in a blender pot. Now while our soup is getting ready, let's make some croutons. Now here I have some brown bread slices. Just cut them lengthwise into 3 halves, and then 3 halves like this, or 4 halves rather. And to make it into a really healthy crouton, well, we're going to take some olive oil in our pan. So no deep frying of the croutons, because we want this to be a real healthy recipe. And you're just going to put these, don't have to heat your olive oil a lot, just put these bread small cut slices into your olive oil, and you have to just keep tossing them till they are nice and brown. So we'll keep tossing them till they are nice and brown. This will take about 2 minutes to get ready. And here you can see that our soup has now come to a boil. So now we can switch off our gas stove. And here you can see that the croutons are now getting nice and toasted with the olive oil. And here you can see that the croutons are all ready. They're nice and brown and toasted. So let's serve some nice soup. So you can take the soup out with a ladle, putting in a little bit of the pasta and the veggies too. In this way you can get your kids to eat French beans and carrots and all healthy veggies. And now we're going to add a few of these toasted croutons. And now all we need is a small sprig of some fresh coriander just to garnish this soup. And it's all ready to serve. So I hope you like this healthy soup recipe. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel by pressing the red subscribe button that you see. Using normal macaroni for this recipe, but if you get your hands on the alphabet macaroni, then please do use that. So this was an ideal snack that I remember my mom, my grandmom used to give us, whenever we used to come back from play and we were a little bit hungry and lunch was not ready or dinner was not ready, and it used to get ready really quickly, and it's a very delicious soup and really refreshing too. So if you haven't had this soup before, then you should try it out. So let's head on to my kitchen and make this lovely Goan macaroni soup today. So friends, here in the video, I've shown you how to prep the vegetables for the soup. So I'm just going to take one medium-sized potato, and we're just going to peel it. First you wash the potato, peel it, and then just slice it into half and then into these little small cubes. So similarly, you can chop up the onions and the tomatoes also, as I've shown you here, and then we'll start with the recipe. So now that all our veggies and everything are ready, let me take you through the ingredients. So here I've kept the potato in some water so that it doesn't blacken. That is one medium-sized potato. This is 2 small tomatoes, one and a half medium-sized onion. This is 1 chicken soup cube. This is about half a cup of macaroni, 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder, and you can use salt if required. Now here I've heated about 1 tablespoon of oil, and I'm going to add my onion, and I'm going to fry the onion till it becomes translucent on a low to medium flame. Then I'm going to add my tomatoes, and I'm going to cook the tomatoes till they're nice and mushy. So this should take you about a minute till both of them are fried. I'm going to drain all the water out of the potatoes, and I'm going to add the potato cubes. Fry the potatoes a bit. Next goes in about 2 cups of water. Mix everything well. I'm going to add the macaroni, add the cheese, add the soup cube and the pepper powder. Give everything a stir. You can also give this a little bit of a taste and see that whether you need to add salt or no, because the soup cube has enough of salt. And then we're going to keep the flame on high till it comes to a boil. We're going to stir in between so that the macaroni doesn't stick to the bottom. And then we're just going to simmer this for about 10 to 15 minutes, stirring in between. And we're going to boil this mixture till the potatoes are cooked well and the macaroni is cooked well. And that's it, friends. Your lovely Goan macaroni soup is all ready. You can have it piping hot and enjoy it.